Jeremy Stark of The Young and the Restless has been waiting for the perfect opportunity to get even with Diane for a long time, and Phyllis has nothing to lose by hatching a devious plot. Stark's plans for his ex-lover have only been hinted at so far, but we can safely assume that they entail fixing her up with someone else. He must have known Phyllis wanted to steal Diane's things if he gave her permission to enter the Abbott mansion. Stark obviously plans to accuse Diane in some way, similar to how Jack and Diane planted evidence to frame Jeremy for the theft of Nikki's necklace. We feel bad for Jack's fiancée, but it's probably not going to be nothing major. Many young and restless viewers have been impatiently waiting for the show's newest antagonist to actually be evil. The audience wants him to act more villainously than simply sending out novels with smiley face stickers attached. We believe that Jeremy's latest ploy, in which the notorious Phyllis is aiding him since, as we indicated, she has nothing to lose, would grant the wishes of those admirers. She is on very bad terms with Summer and Daniel, and there is little chance of them reconciling after she sold the hotel and her employment with Marchetti and her work on the gaming platform, respectively. What's more, Red has assured Stark that she is safeguarding her family by agreeing to perform whatever it is she's promised to do beyond a B and E at the Abbott estate. Phyllis, like Victor, would do anything for her children, no matter how strange it may seem to an outsider. Diane, who may soon get a double dose of her own medication, is in for something that Jeremy has in mind that could only be described as twisted. She not only faked her own death and left Geno City, leaving her enemies, including Phyllis, Ashley, Nikki, etc., to potentially spend the rest of their lives in prison for her murder, but she also framed Stark for a theft that might have sent him back to jail for eons. Turnabout is often regarded fair play during the day, which is probably what's happening here. We think Jeremy will go to great lengths to frame Diane as revenge for putting him to prison twice and for framing him. Phyllis has an opportunity to get even with Diane for all the times she has pretended to be dead, only to brutally abandon those she has hurt while she has walked away, and her son to believe she was dead. Yes, if Jeremy and Phyllis frame Diane for murder, they can accomplish two goals at once, similar to how Diane died in the park. Envision Diane experiencing what it was like for the people of Geno City she left behind to be falsely accused of killing her and facing a lifetime behind bars, and for Jeremy to be framed for something he didn't do. Photographs of several of the cast wearing what could be considered burial attire have further added to our worries. Those are fictional people who would almost certainly show up to a funeral for Phyllis. The implication here is that Jeremy, with the help of the attractive redhead, is plotting to have Diane framed for Phyllis's murder. She may feel like there's nothing left for her in Geno City, and that if she fakes her own death and disappears, she can get even with Diane in a way that she deserves, all the while keeping her loved ones safe. There are two major problems with this plan. First, Phyllis would be allowing her children to believe she is dead, just as Diane did to Kyle, and second, the dead person will almost certainly be irresistibly drawn back to Geno City to observe the results of her machinations, putting herself at risk. Since James Hyde now appears to have announced his departure as Stark, it's possible that the ruse may be exposed. Examples of urban tree-based strategies for climate change mitigation. Do you believe Jeremy intends to set Diane up for Phyllis's supposed murder? James Hyde has released some photos from behind the scenes showing the cast dressed in black for a funeral. Have a look at the set design for an added bonus. Keep an eye out for the photobombing Allison Lanier as Summer throws up the peace sign in the backdrop. Is there going to be some sort of showdown at the bicentennial ball? Is Diane going to be detained during the memorial service? Opponents on the football field but best buds on set.